All please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last City Council meeting for November. At this time, the chair will take a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ken, second by Cedar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to item 5 on the agenda tonight, public input. Citizens may speak to issues not on the agenda. Please give your name and address for the minutes. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to address the council under public input? Seeing as there is no one wishing to address us under public input, at this time we will move on to item 6 this evening, which is the Library Foundation presentation.
Unfortunately, they're not here, but I can do the presentation instead if that works. Okay.
We can wait till they come in if you want. I mean, till they're here.
Ellen emailed me that she's not feeling well, so she's not able to come. And then she emailed Julie Phelps and don't know if she got the email. So do you want me to go ahead with it?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Once you've got everything here, we might as well do it.
Okay. Should I go up there?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, the Library Foundation has made their final payment to the city for the library. They have paid to the city for the building of the library $857,707.98. And this is your big check, the last one, of $8,707.98 that you got from them. You actually got the real check, not the big one, last month. And there is an anticipated bequest of $50,000 coming at some point in the future. So that's
awesome.
yeah, that is really
Yep.
awesome. I really
Yep.
want to thank the people of Cannon Falls for giving for our beautiful library.
Yep.
I'm so happy to work here.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. That moves us on to item 7 this evening, which is a public hearing, which is the introduction and first reading of Ordinance 356, annexing certain property abutting the city of Cannon Falls. Sam?
We are just holding the public hearing for annexing land to the east of the implement dealer. Ann Simon is the owner and seller, and Ryan Kranz is the buyer. The parcel is 9.8, roughly 10 acres in size, and Mr. Kranz is proposing to use it as a storage facility for RVs and possibly a location for his electric business, Fish in Electric. So after annexation, the property will be proposed to be rezoned to B2 or Highway Commercial District. And yeah.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, this time we will open up the public hearing for annexation and rezoning of 9.8 acre parcel immediately north of 3rd and 18th Street. Is there anyone wishing to address the council under the public hearing? Is there anyone wishing to address the council under the public hearing under annexation of property? Is there anyone wishing to address the council under the public hearing for annexation of property? If not, we will close the public hearing at this time, and the chair will take a motion to approve Ordinance 356 annexing the property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ken, a second by Mike. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. What's underneath that? Is there, I know that many years ago, there was a manufactured home salesperson out there, and he ended up burning a bunch of stuff illegally, and I think he had to bury it. I'm just wondering, is this that same parcel? I mean, I'm just wondering if there's gonna be anything found under there, if you have to do some digging or some excavating. And I don't know if it is, I'm just asking if it's the same parcel or not.
Nothing was disclosed,
Okay,
so that would be news to us.
okay. I'm sure it's further to the west.
You just
I'm sure
alarmed.
it's further to the west.
Surprise.
Yeah, right?
I just got a couple questions, Robbie.
Okay.
This is for you there. Do we have city sewer and water going down that street past Frontier Ag out towards the clinic out there?
Yes, it goes past Frontier Ag, and then it currently is stopping right at that property.
Right at the property? And is that part of the situation is where if they purchase this, they have to be hooked up? Or does it stay with the existing system, or where are we at on that?
They will have to be hooked up to city sewer and water.
Okay. And is this gonna kind of stay, is this something that they can come along later and split up and sell a couple other lots or something, or?
Yes, yeah. So right now the proposal is what I said for the commercial, but at any time they could come and request a rezoning to residential and split the parcel up for single family homes or anything in the future.
And what, I don't know what the disadvantage or advantage is of just buying it, leaving it as is, or having this annexed. What's the advantage of doing this?
Oh, the annexation?
Yeah,
For them to get on city sewer and water.
okay. All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to item 8 this evening, the consent agenda. Items on this area of the agenda may be adopted, or they may be removed and placed on the business area of the agenda for discussion purposes before approving. For those at home, I'll read the consent agenda. Item A is the just and correct claims for the accounting period ending November the 17th, 2017. Item B, meeting minutes for the November 7th, 2017 City Council meeting. Item C, meeting minutes for the November 7th, 2017 City Council work session. Item D, Resolution 2308, accepting a donation of $1,500 from Invenergy to the Fire Department. Item E, the Sunday Tap Room on-sale and off-sale license for Tillian Brewing Company. Item F, on-sale wine/strong beer license and Sunday liquor license for Grand Stay Hotel. Item G, the Raise Fire Department pension. Item H, approval funeral leave and sick leave policy amendments. Item I, law enforcement labor services. Number 1 is approve the memorandum of agreement with the union. 2, resolution 2309, providing for post-employment health care savings plan for LELS. Item 3, LES 2018 to 2020 collective bargaining agreement. Item J, approve cost of living adjustment COLA for non-bargaining unit employees. And item K, introduction and first reading of ordinance 355, amending chapter 152 of the Cannon Falls City Code concerning the zoning map and zoning classification of a specific property. Are there any items anybody wishes to move?
Mayor, may I just make a comment, please? There was a correction made on the city council work session minutes from what was originally sent out, but they've been corrected now. On our records, there was just a typographical error regarding the years listed for the salary and the wages that were discussed at that meeting. I think it said 18, 19, and 19, so it's just corrected to 18, 19, and 20. So the minutes, the official minutes have been corrected, and I just wanted to make note of that so that you're aware of that change.
Okay. Are there any items anybody wishes to bring down? If not, Chair will take a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to item 9, council business, resolution 2310, ordering feasibility report for East Side 2 street improvement project. And Greg is not here. Do you have that one?
Yeah, this is This is the first step in the process to get the East Side 2 improvement project completed for this coming year. In 18, at the last budget workshop, council discussed street projects for next year, and by consensus directed us to move forward with the 18 project. And even though we're in December, the timeline with this project that Greg is proposing, it actually gets to be kind of tight, even starting with the directing the ordering of the feasibility report, which is the first step in the 429, the special assessment process that we have to undertake in order to do bond issue. And it culminates with project construction from May through October, but the bid opening is mid-April, even with this schedule. So, and that's typically early to mid to late spring is about the best time to bid projects, because contractors are not full for the year yet, but they're kind of hungry for the business at that point. So with this, what the resolution does is it basically orders SEH to put the feasibility study together, and then that will come back to you, and then Greg can go through the whole project with you on December 19th, if that is approved.
All right, so at this time, the chair will take a motion to approve the, where'd it go here? Resolution 2310, ordering a feasibility study, or a feasibility report for East Side 2 Street Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Cedar, second by Mike. Is there any discussion?
Just a quick thing, Robbie. I have to say this because every time we do one of these projects, I go through this, and I promise you this is the last time I'll comment on this. But the big concern I have with these projects that we do is the way they're done. I've been working 50 years now in the plumbing, underground, wells, all this business. Every time we do a project, ductile iron and cast iron is becoming a thing of the past. The crew we work with here has a reluctancy to go to PVC, but PVC is where it's at. It's where the longest life is. Ductile iron always gives us some kind of grief or problem with shearing off. Also, the other thing is that before I consented to ask for PVC last time, about 4 years ago, I met with the head PVC people out of Texas 2-3 times to make sure there was a guarantee on the life expectancy of PVC and that there be no leaching or health problems. And I was completely reassured that. I did a lot of studying and a lot of reading on it. And I can tell you that PVC is the future, and for some reason we're reluctant to do it. So I would hope that we would at least have an alternative price on this thing of PVC so we have that option. The other thing is, when you guys did the west side up there, I still can't forget when I had the contractor come and ask me if they were supposed to hook up the lead pipes. And we had 7 or 8 hookups we did with lead up there. In this day and age, we cannot no longer hook up to lead pipes. So absolutely, whatever lead pipes are in this side of town has to be replaced. It's not a health issue about us, it's a health issue about the next generation. And this, to me, the 7 or 8 that are on the west side should be thrown into this project to replace them lines up there, because I am so worried about the liability of the city and a lawsuit over this thing. The other thing that the staff has trouble doing is they always like 90-degree curbs. I don't care if they're 90-degree curbs or 45-degree curbs, but I will tell you that if you put in 45-degree curbs, you're going to have way less problems. And what I mean by you're going to have less problems is we have a tendency to not make these streets wider anymore for parking in this. So if you do have angled curbs, people can always go up a partway on the grass and park if they have to keep the street wider open or something. The other thing is, you got to remember, with 90-degree curbs, you have young people learning how to drive. You have people that don't know how the front end of a car works, and they pull up and they snag them curbs, and they wreck their tires. If anything, I think the tire industry is promoting these 90-degree curbs, because people are knocking their front ends out and kids are damaging their wheels and rims. And there's absolutely no reason to go to 90-degree curbs. So I would like to see that we go, if I'm going to vote on this and approve this, I would like to see that we finally put some common sense into this thing and go a different direction. And I have no agenda outside to just inform you all that this isn't about Leroy, it's about safety and the right way to do things. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Not? Chair will take, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to reports. Sam? Tom?
I'd just like to remind the public that we will be looking at new Christmas lights 2018. And if you do see something in a surrounding town or somewhere else, please take a picture, get it to the city staff so we can review that in the spring now here and get some ideas on what people like, what they don't like, things like that. And also, when we start plowing, just remind the public, give the plows plenty of room. If you could, please leave your garbage dumpsters up on the boulevard, especially if it's going to snow that day, and get all cars off the street. And again, with the snow forts, I'll go into that speech again. Don't allow your kids or grandkids to build a snow fort on the boulevard, because when you go by to plow, we don't know if we're going to entomb a child in there. So if every time we see those, we will break them up. So just a reminder, hopefully we won't have winter for a long time yet.
Thanks, Tom.
Not much going on at the library. I am still taking applications for library assistant, adult and teen services through the end of this week. And we are looking for people who would be interested in joining the library board. We need one in-town resident and one rural resident. So if you're interested, please drop by and I can give you the information. And that's it.
And then we're reading to the kids on Saturday?
I'm not going to. But the library will be open for it, yeah.
Santa will be.
I'll be
Yeah,
reading.
Santa will be.
Santa will be. You don't know who's watching?
Mayor will be.
Aren't you Santa?
I'll read. The mayor reads. Thanks.
That's hard to follow. Saturday, there are lots of events going on in town, one of which we're being connected with will be the Deck the Falls nighttime parade and tree lighting. That'll get underway at 5 o'clock. The parade route will be the 100 block of both North and South 4th Street and the 400 block of Mill Street in the city parking lot. So there will be some disruption of routine traffic along there. We're not putting any parking restrictions in place, but we will stop traffic that will cross. So if you're coming down, please come down early than 5 so you can get into the parking lot and be able to park and stuff without any interruption in your route. That's all I have.
At the next council meeting, you can enjoy tonight's meeting because next one won't be quite this brief. I'll be bringing forward the 49ers agreement. I believe we've received an agreement with them, so I'll be bringing that forward. So that'll wrap up our bargaining for the next 2.5 years, but for 3 years of agreement. So that's a good thing. That's all I have for tonight.
Well,
At the last city council meeting, we held that public hearing on the certification of the unpaid water and sewer charges, and a question was raised at that meeting about the number of industrial or commercial accounts that were on that list. So I did some checking, and there was a total of 4 that had commercial or industrial ties. One was a commercial and residential combination, 2 commercial, and then 1 industrial. So, and the $2,000 ones, one of those was industrial and the other one was commercial. So, just for your information.
Thank you.
Hey, Linnell, do we treat them all the same? Are commercials treated different or more restrictive than residential? Or are the rules same for everybody?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by the rules, but we do certify whether they're commercial, residential, industrial. They all get certified to their taxes. I know in the past we've given shut-off notices for some of the commercial accounts. Now, one of these already has their water. They're not using any water, so it wouldn't have applied in that case. And the other ones, I'm not sure what's been done.
Normally, we don't shut them off, do we?
We try really hard not to, yeah.
Right. But even the commercial ones, we usually don't shut off either.
I don't know that we ever have. I know we've sent out notices, and then they usually make a plan or come in with a payment, and I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Leroy?
I guess I don't quite know what to do with this. I made 5 calls this week to try to discuss this privately, but it didn't work out, or I didn't seem to get connected for some reason. But I do have a lot of concern, and I did get the letter, and I did read about it, but I do have a lot of concern about the ambulance situation.
Okay, and that's something, Leroy, that we can't discuss publicly at this time.
Yeah, and
By law.
by law, why have we got an attorney handling this without the council being notified or voted on hiring an attorney to handle this? I have met with some of the staff members to get a better picture of the situation.
Well, it's because it is by way things are, attorney needs to be notified in this type of situation.
Okay.
And that's why it's been
But
done.
I understand the rules, and I know you have to do this, Robbie, but to me, this wasn't that complicated of a thing. We could have discussed it with the individuals.
Well,
It should have been discussed before it ever went to an attorney.
unfortunately,
so I'll just
we
leave it at
can't do that
Thank you.
at that point. I'm sorry about that, but unfortunately, we can't. It's protecting us in the long run. Ken?
I have nothing.
I'd just like to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, be safe, and we will talk at you later. Take a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.